comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
The 1-0, that's in the air to left center field. Long run, Gilbert into the gap, on the move, not going to get there. One hops up against the wall. Castellanos will score to tie it. Campusano's on his way. The relay is not in time. A two-run double for Song to give him the lead. Throw gets away. He goes to third, and the first big league hit for Sung Moon Song is a big one. Padres ahead, it's 5-4.
The sweet music of Sung Moon Song leading the way here tonight as the Padres win the middle game of this three-game series in San Francisco. Final score, Padres 10 and the Giants 5. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network. A lot to do, as always, on our postgame coverage. We'll go back to Oracle Park in San Francisco, hear from Craig Stammen. We have all the radio highlights for you, full game recap, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and much, much more. As always, our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, with a top 100 spa, an epic rooftop pool, and Lux Hotel Suites, Jamul Casino Resort is the mini vacay you need, the player's place. Well, this game here tonight, it did not start all that well from a Padres standpoint. They trailed 4-1 after 2 innings. Walker Buehler struggling in the first 2 frames of this game. But credit where credit's due. The Padres offense here tonight showed up in a big way. The tone set with that 5-run top of the 4th inning. Padres turning a 4-1 deficit into a 6-4 lead. And what you loved about this game offensively tonight, really 2 aspects to it. Number one, they did a lot of damage against Logan Webb, who, as we know, can be really, really good. Quite frankly, Logan Webb, when he's going right, and he's had a bit of a rough start to the season here in 2026, but when he's going right, he can be one of the better right-handers in the game. And the Padres were coming off a game against a good sinker last night from that rookie right-hander, Trevor McDonald, where we talked so much last night in the postgame about how the Padres did not handle Trevor McDonald. But to their credit tonight, totally different story against Logan Webb. 5 runs against him in the 4th inning, and that 5-run 4th inning totally changed this game. So the Padres deserve a ton of credit for that. This was also a game where the Padres just got contributions up and down the lineup. 8 out of the 9 starters in this game scored a run. Just go up and down the lineup tonight. Jackson Merrill was great out of the leadoff spot. 3 hits tonight, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Miguel Andujar, I mean, my goodness, how good does this guy continue to be? 3 hits for Miguel Andujar, came a home run shy of the cycle tonight. Gavin Sheets had a couple of hits. Fernando Tatis Jr. had 1 hit, a double, although it was a big hit as part of that 4th inning in his first day down in the 5 spot. Xander Bogaerts had 2 hits, including a home run. Nick Castellanos a hit, couple of RBIs, including a sac fly tonight. Luis Campusano was on base tonight and scored a run. And then Sung Moon Song, first major league start, I mean, against a guy in Logan Webb who is really, really tough. The biggest hit of the night with that go-ahead 2-run double in the 4th inning. I mean, that was absolutely enormous in his first major league hit. What a time to get it, and what a hit it was. A 2-run double for Sung Moon Song puts the Padres ahead, and they never look back in this game. That's great to see for Sung Moon Song. It was a big headline heading into this game. Song making his first major league start, and man, oh man, did he deliver in this game. Had an infield single and another run scored, a stolen base in this game. His defense was good, and I'd imagine at least while Jake Cronenworth is on the IL, Sung Moon Song's going to get an opportunity to play, and certainly earned another start, I would assume, tomorrow with the way he played here tonight. Walker Buehler gave up the early runs, but to his credit, really settled in this game and limited the damage to just the 2 runs in the first inning and the 2 runs in the second. Bullpen good tonight as well. But again, the story of the night, the offense, 10 runs on 14 hits. It was up and down the lineup. Nothing fancy, passing the baton, but the Padres had a much-needed offensive breakout in this game. We talked about it pregame a lot. When you go back and you look at this recent run for the Padres offense, it had not been pretty. The Padres offense Just 15 runs combined in their last 6 games. They had had so much trouble lately getting to opposing starters. They did both those things here today. They scored a lot of runs. They scored 10 runs here tonight alone, and they got to an opposing starting pitcher. So felt like the Padres needed to have a big offensive night to kind of turn a little bit of the narrative of the last week around, and they did exactly that here tonight as they beat the Giants 10-5, and now it sets up the rubber match of this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon in San Francisco. When we come back, all the radio highlights for you. We'll go back up to the Bay Area, hear from Craig Stammen as well. Our postgame coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score today, Padres 10 and the Giants 5 as the Padres improved to 21-14. The Giants dropped to 14-22. Sets up the rubber game of this 3-game series tomorrow. First pitch at 12:45. We'll talk more about that game coming up a little bit later. Right now, let's recap how it went down tonight in the Bay.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, last night was a low-scoring affair. This game, not so much. Let's begin in the bottom half of the first inning. Walker Buehler on the mound for San Diego. He gave up a leadoff single to Jung-Hoo Lee. Casey Schmidt was next.
Here's the 1-1. That's launched in the air. Deep to left field. Castellanos is back to watch, and this one going to go. 2-run homer, Casey Schmidt, and you cannot cool him off. Second consecutive night he goes deep. It is his 6th of the year, and the Giants take a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first.
Giants led 2-0 as Logan Webb took the mound in the top of the second. The second batter of the inning was the X-Man.
Excalibur. This one in the air to left field and deep. Ramos is back on the track at the wall, looking up, gonna go! Xander Bogaerts with his 6th of the year. And the Padres answer back with a home run of their own. It's 2-1 here in the second.
But the Giants responded in the bottom half of the second. A couple of singles, an RBI single from Jesus Rodriguez to make it 3-1, the first major league hit for the Giants' young catcher. Another run scored on a fielder's choice. Giants led 4-1 through 2 innings. Padres still trailed 4-1 going to the top of the fourth. Gavin Sheets hit a one-out single. Fernando Tatis Jr. followed with a double. That got Sheets to third base. Xander Bogaerts then brought a run home with a ground out to make it 4-2. There was still a runner in scoring position for Nick Castellanos.
Castellanos swings, lines it into left center, a base hit. Fernando can walk home if he wants. An RBI single, Nick Castellanos, and a one-run game here in the fourth inning. It's 4-3.
Luis Campusano then hit by a pitch. That put 2 on for the guy making his first start in the major leagues tonight, Sung Moon Song.
The 1-0, that's in the air to left center field. Long run, Gilbert into the gap, on the move, not going to get there. One hops up against the wall. Castellanos will score to tie it. Campusano's on his way. The relay is not in time. A 2-run double for Song to give him the lead. Throw gets away. He goes to third, and the first big league hit for Sung Moon Song is a big one. Padres ahead, it's 5-4.
What a moment. What a hit for Sung Moon Song. A go-ahead 2-run double. Padres still weren't done. Song on third base for Jackson Merrill.
And Merrill swings, lines it into center field. Gilbert coming on, not going to be able to make the catch. Has to play it on a hop. Song comes in to score, and it's 6-4.
5 runs on 5 hits in that fourth inning. Padres had a 6-4 lead. That was it for Logan Webb. He went just 4 innings in this game tonight. Padres then got another run against Giants right-hander JT Brubaker in the top of the 5th inning. Nick Castellanos plated a run with a sac fly after the Padres loaded the bases with 1 out. That made it 7-4. Padres offense struck again in the 6th. Jackson Merrill hit a leadoff single against Giants reliever Ryan Borucki. He stole second. Merrill was in scoring position for Miguel Andujar.
Andujar hits it hard on a line into right field and a base hit. Merrill will trot home. RBI single, Miguel Andujar to make it 8-4. And now Andujar is a homer shy of the cycle.
After giving up the early runs, Walker Buehler really settled in. He pitched into the 6th inning. Jeremiah Estrada would finish a scoreless 6th inning. Buehler would go 5 innings and a third in this game, allowed 4 runs. He left in line for the win. Estrada came back out for the 7th. He allowed a solo home run to Jesus Rodriguez, the first home run of his major league career. That cut the Padres' lead to 8-5. But the Padres got the run back and more in the top of the 8th inning. Sung Moon Song reached on a 1-out infield single. He stole second, went to third on an errant throw. Jackson Merrill at the plate.
The pitch and a liner into left field, base hit, Jackson Merrill. Song will come in to score for the second time tonight. Merrill's on his way to second as it went all the way to the base of the wall. RBI double, Jackson Merrill, his third hit of the night. And the Padres extend the lead. It's 9-5.
Merrill would go to third base on a flyout. He then scored on a balk from Giants pitcher Gregory Santos. The Padres had a 10-5 lead. Jason Adam, a scoreless bottom half of the 8th inning. No need for Mason Miller tonight with a 5-run advantage. Padres went to Ron Marinaccio to polish things off.
Marinaccio delivers and Kah swings and misses. Strike 3. A 1-2-3. Bottom of the 9th for Marinaccio. And he caps it with a K. Padres with a big-time 10-5 win here tonight in San Francisco. They even this series, and they see a rubber game here tomorrow afternoon at Oracle Park.
Really, really nice win for the Padres here tonight. Final score, Padres 10 and the Giants 5. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Padres. Giants had 5 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Again, the Padres improved to 21-14. Giants dropped to 14-22. Winning pitcher tonight, Walker Buehler, who improves to 2-2, and the losing pitcher, Logan Webb, who drops to 2-4. When we return, we'll go inside the clubhouse at Oracle Park, hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Again, the Padres win the middle game of this series by a final of 10-5. Our postgame coverage continues after these words. Padres win it tonight in San Francisco. Final score, Padres 10 and the Giants 5 as the Padres even up this 3-game set in SF at a game apiece, setting up the rubber match of this series tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Appreciate you joining us on this Tuesday evening. A much-needed offensive breakout for the Padres tonight. 10 runs on 14 hits. Jackson Merrill in the leadoff spot tonight. Really, really effective. 3 hits in this game, a double, couple of runs scored, 2 RBIs. Miguel Andujar, he continues to be just terrific. 3 for 5 tonight, came a home run shy of the cycle. Fernando Tatis Jr. had a base hit out of the number 5 spot tonight. Xander Bogaerts had a home run, but I could argue, and I think you'll agree with me out there, star of the night, Sung-Moon Song, who had the big 2-run double, his first major league hit in the 4th inning, biggest swing in that 5-run 4th inning that really changed the whole dynamic of this game. He would have 2 hits here tonight, couple of RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base, and also on the mound, Walker Buehler gave up the early runs in this game, but really settled in, picks up his 2nd win of the season. With all that in mind, let's go back to Oracle Park in San Francisco and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
Hoping to improve the consistency of the last night, especially maybe in relation to
Yeah, a lot of good at-bats. We hung in there against a really good pitcher. One of the best in our league, and even though we got down, we kept with it and, scratched a few across and then got some confidence up and had a really big inning there. It was the 4th inning, I believe, 5 runs.
What do you think the difference was? It's not like you guys haven't taken good at bats before. You got out of that. You got out of that a little tiny bit. And tonight looked like one of your better games in terms of.
Yeah, I don't know. You could put your finger on a number of things. I think bringing awareness to it, talking about it, moving things around, whatever it is. I think one thing is like they're a determined group and they're not satisfied with just being okay. They want to be great. And I think today was, a little bit of them showing that that's what they're in for this season.
How do you think Walker responded to some weird soft contact?
Yeah, I thought he had a great outing tonight. Really pitched well. You can't really say they hit the ball hard at all. They just found some holes and, a lot of under 80-mile-an-hour hits and, gave up 4 runs early, but really 3 really quality innings after that, and then got us an out in the 6th.
How you used Andujar versus maybe when you signed him, maybe didn't use him? How are those kind of different? Is he kind of even exceeding what you thought you would get from him?
Not really. I think when we first were talking about signing him, we watched the last month of at bats when he was playing for the Reds, and he was hotter than heck. And he was hitting 3 and 4 for him. And I think we felt really good about, him joining our team and joining the lineup. I think he's had a few like little hammy issues that have kind of kept him out of the lineup a little bit more. Just trying to take it easy on him when we were over in elevation. I think that's been he's got a history of that. So we're just, watching that a little bit. But now that he's feeling good and I feel like we can almost get him in there every day.
So has a 2 hits at the IBI. What did you see from him? Is it what you expected?
Yeah, heck yeah, that's what we expected. He had a great game today. For his first major league start, first game in the big leagues, he came up with a huge hit. One of the biggest hits of the night. And having that extra lefty bat in there, and he played great defense, stole a base. A great game for him. And now all he's got to do is do it again tomorrow.
You correctly predicted before the game he's going to bring some energy. What did you learn just about on that front, just in spring training, just the way he is way about him?
Yeah, if you see him, he's smiling at all times. And so smiles are a good thing. Laughter is a good thing. It brings a little energy. And I think just, someone from a different country is curious. The guys are curious about him. They want to get to know him. And, he's a fun guy to be around. And I think just even having him in the locker room with the guys, lightens the mood. And then when he gets a hit, we're all excited, for him getting his first, big league hit and RBI and having a great game.
You're averaging 10 runs with this lineup. It's safe to say that you might stick with it in its conceptual form.
Yeah, and we're missing Ramon Laureano out of that lineup too. So, we predicted days like this for these types of hitters. and I think there'll be more to come. We've been short on them here of late, but it's what hitting is. Hitting's not consistent. It comes and goes. Hopefully the defense and the pitching are a little bit more consistent, but days like this, 10-run games, we'll take them when we can get them.
Jackson can control his strike zone. Is he an option at the top of the order, though?
Yeah, for sure he's an option at the top of the order. I think, that's a place that's not going to be someone's the entire season. It's going to be continuously changed in and out, based on, how the team's playing, how the guy at the top's hitting, and how he's setting the table. So, although he didn't get off to a great start as the leadoff hitter, I think, we proved getting him more at-bats at the top of the lineup is a good thing.
That big inning off Webb, I think you guys only saw 21 pitches. What was behind that offensive efficiency?
I think it's more of like the identity of our team. We like to swing the bat, and if they feel like they're getting a good pitch to hit, they're going to swing the bat, and we give them the freedom to do that. We trust that they have great swings and that they can, hit mistakes. And they hit some good, they hit the mistakes today, and we, got the good results.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 10-5 win for the Padres in San Francisco. Sam Levitt back with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show. A couple of things I want to touch on that Craig Stammen talked about there. The first of which is Walker Buehler's outing, because Buehler gives up the 2 runs in the first inning, the home run by Schmidt. And then you look at the trouble in the second, it was a lot of soft contact. And I'm not trying to, make an excuse for Walker there. He gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings of the game, but there was a lot of soft contact in that second inning. And I would say kind of more bad luck than maybe bad execution for Walker Buehler in that second inning in particular. The home run he gave up to Schmidt in the first inning obviously was a very hard piece of contact, but especially in the second inning, a lot of soft contact. But look, I thought Walker did a really good job tonight settling in, especially after the Padres had scored the 5 runs in the fourth inning. We talk about pitching in the flow of a game. Make no mistake, the fact that Walker Buehler, after the Padres took the 6-4 lead in the fourth inning with the 5-run fourth, the fact that Walker came right back out for the bottom of the fourth inning, retired the side in order. Padres then got another run in the fifth inning to make it 7-4, and then he put together another 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of the fifth inning, 6 up, 6 down. After the Padres took the lead, those shutdown innings in the big picture of this game are really, really important. And look, his final line's going to be okay. 5 innings and a third, 4 runs given up, 7 hits. But I thought Walker did a really good job settling in and getting some really big, quick, easy innings after the Padres took the lead. So had some early trouble, but settled in a really, really nice way. Jackson Merrill. He's starting to come around. I talked about it pregame. In fact, it was the subject of our What to Watch For segment pregame tonight. Jackson, 3 hits tonight, 2 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. Merrill is now 8 for 17 in his last 4 games. He's starting to swing the bat a lot better, which is fantastic to see. And I mentioned it yesterday. It just is a good reminder of how early we are in the season. Consider this with Jackson. Coming into, let me pull it up here. Just give me 1 second as I pull it up. Coming into Saturday's game against the White Sox, Jackson was hitting 200 on the year. At the end of tonight, his batting average is now up to 235. He's gained 35 points on his batting average in 4 games. So with any of the struggling Padres hitters, I'll use Fernando as an example, it just is a good reminder of how early in the year it is. Like, you can change, especially the average, some of these numbers really quickly if you put together a good little run. And Jackson has gone again 8 for 17 in his past 4 games, and all of a sudden the average, he wants it to be higher than 235. I get that. But meanwhile, his average has jumped up 35 points in a handful of days. So just a good reminder of how quickly things can change still this early in the season. And it'll be interesting, the lineup tomorrow, for this reason. They were so good tonight with Merrill in the leadoff spot, with Tatis batting lower, with Manny batting second, with Andujar. We'll talk more about him in our next segment, batting third. it does make me wonder, hey, is Jackson going to lead off tomorrow? Maybe. Now, keep in mind, Ramon Laureano wasn't in the lineup tonight, and that guy's an everyday player. So you're going to have to fit him in somewhere into what you did tonight if you want to do something similar tomorrow in the final game of this series. But hey, hard to argue with the results tonight. 10 runs on 14 hits, did it against a really good starting pitcher in Logan Webb. And as we've said a handful of times already, just what felt like a much needed offensive breakout for this team. They needed a game like tonight. They got it and did a really good job passing the baton and just generating a ton of runs here tonight. When we come back, we'll focus on Miguel Andujar a little bit more. We got to talk about Miguel. I mean, he has just been terrific. And I thought it was a good question, good answer there in the post-game press conference. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the bullpen tonight and a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. If you want to squeeze a phone call in, 833-288-0973 is always the phone number to call. Padres beat the Giants tonight 10-5. Our post-game coverage continues after this. Padres win it tonight in San Francisco, 10-5. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios as we continue our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Let's tell you about tonight's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game here tonight. Couple of options for you. Now, Jeremiah Estrada did get 5 outs in this game, gave the Padres good length. Did give up the home run, so I'm not going to go with him today. You basically got a competition here between Adam and Marinaccio, both put together 1, 2, 3 innings. Both were dealing with a 10-5 lead, so how do you differentiate? Well, Marinaccio struck a guy out. Adam did not. So for that reason, we'll choose Ron Marinaccio for our relief pitcher of the game here tonight. Why not? Well-deserved for Mr. Marinaccio. Bullpen tonight was good. Put together 3 2/3 innings, 1 run given up on 1 hit. The only hit was that home run to Jesus Rodriguez, first major league home run for him. But even with that, Jeremiah Estrada working with, a pretty sizable lead, did a good job. 5 outs in this game and only gave up that 1 home run solo shot. And look, when you're at the time leading 8-4, you can afford to give up a solo home run. That's one of the benefits of having a bigger lead. And so I would say everybody out of the bullpen did a pretty nice job in this game here tonight. Let's tell you about the heart of the Padres order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Part of the order here tonight, 3, 4, 5 spots. Andujar, Sheets, and Tatis. A little bit different looking heart of the order here tonight with the lineup shake up. Andujar, what a night, 3 hits. Home run shy of the cycle, RBI and a run scored. Gavin Sheets, 2 hits in this game, couple of singles and a run scored. Fernando Tatis Jr., a double and a run scored in this game. So 6 hits combined between Andujar, Sheets, and Tatis. They scored 3 runs between them. They had an RBI between them. Nice night for the heart of the order. Really a nice night up and down the Padres lineup. I do want to focus on Andujar because he continues to be just terrific. I mean, you can really make the argument, and I don't think it's far-fetched at all, that Miguel Andujar has been this team's most consistent hitter. Bottom line, I mean, look at the numbers. 87 at-bats, 322 batting average. The OPS is at 869, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Got an on-base of 352. He has been really good hitting lefties, hitting righties. That's what I think is really impressive and sort of remarkable about what Andujar has been so far. When the Padres signed him, I think the expectation was that he would be a guy that at the very least you could slot in against left-handed pitching. He has always hit left-handed pitching well in his career. You could have him off the bench as a veteran bat, and somebody who would start against left-handers. He has been so much more than that. I mean, again, he has been arguably this team's most consistent hitter from wire to wire so far in the early part of this season. And right now, you can't get him out of the lineup. I mean, Miguel Andujar is batting 3rd for this team tonight with names like Machado and Tatis and Merrill and Bogarts in this lineup. And he's batting 3rd. So not only has he been productive, has he been consistent, but he's serving as a middle of the order, heart of the order type of bat right now. And he's getting it done against righties, against lefties. It doesn't matter. And you can't take him out of the lineup. I mean, right now, Miguel Andujar is an everyday player in your lineup, one way or another. He has got to be in there because of how he's performed. Well deserved. So, look, you got to ride this hot hand as long as you can. And who knows, maybe it lasts the whole way. We're a ways away from saying that. But, I mean, Miguel Andujar has been really, really good in every way so far. Really, really good. I think the point is he has been, to me, a lot more than what I thought his role would be when he was signed. Because when he was signed, I think the expectation was he's somebody who you can play against left-handers. He'll be a veteran bat off the bench. And he has been a lot more than that. He has been an everyday player, and he has been a middle-of-the-order bat that has been extremely productive. So credit to Miguel Andujar. He's been terrific, and another big night for Miguel. 3 hits, a home run shy of the cycle. We'll step aside. When we come back, we will get to some of your phone calls quickly. 833-288-0973. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game, wrap things up, get ready for tomorrow's rubber match of this 3-game series. Our post-game coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside our San Diego studios. Final score tonight, Padres 10 and the Giants 5. We'll get to some of your phone calls here in a second at 833-288-0973. The phone number to call, as always. Just one more note on the Miguel Andujar conversation that we were having right before the break. This tells you all you need to know right here. Miguel Andujar, in 62 at-bats this season against right-handed pitching. Remember, this guy's reputation was that he could rip up lefties. Well, I don't know that he had that expectation against righties. Against right-handed pitching in 62 at-bats this season, he's hitting .355 with a .923 OPS. Tells the story right there. He's only hitting .240, albeit 25 at-bats, small sample, against lefties, but .355 with a .923 OPS against right-handed pitchers. I mean, he has just been great against righties. And I'm sure with a bigger sample size, the lefty numbers are going to get better. So, again, Andujar's been terrific. And right now, he's a guy you cannot get out of this lineup. All right, let's go to the phones here following a 10-5 Padre win. Let's begin tonight. We go to Renee in Spring Valley. Renee, you're on the Padres Radio Network. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up, Sammy? Good to talk to you, baby. Hey, exactly, to continue the conversation, and I agree. Andujar is incredible, and, to know that he's in the lineup now, and, hey, parts of the batting order are always going to struggle, and that's when other people pick them up. I've heard a rumor that these are struggling. That's going to work itself out. Relax, right? And then the other thing, Campuzano adding to the batting. I mean, it's just so many things that it's crazy how good we're playing, and we're in a comfortable position. We're working things out, and everything's gonna be, man. I heard some of the comments on the radio earlier in the afternoon show, and there's one guy, this person that calls out of Chula Vista. He's a caller, and such a bitterman, just critiquing and saying we demand. It's almost like he's demanding that these must hit a certain amount of home runs to live up to it. It's like, man, these people are playing baseball at a high level. Can you throw a ball more than 20 feet? People are not entertained, Sammy. I think we've had this part of the conversation before. But other things I wanted to mention with Buehler. Man, I see that guy and see how mad he gets. I wish somebody could say, hey, dude, take it easy, man. You're in San Diego now. You can take it easy. It's okay. You take a breath, man. Easy, man. It's going to be all right,
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Renee.
The other thing is,
go ahead. Yeah, finish up. Go ahead.
I was going to say one last thing. I tried to call a couple nights ago. I couldn't get through. And I wanted to say, we hadn't talked about this yet, but listening to the manager's comments after the games, I really, really like this guy.
Yeah.
Stammen is incredible. When they signed him, and, I think I had the same, hesitation as a lot of people might have, is like, he's kind of young to be managing a team. But man, he's in there, and it's really good to see. And then one last thing. Okay. We got to sing a new song for Song tonight, because we'll have more conversation about his greatness. Good night, Sammy. Thank you for the time and patience.
All right, Renee. Thank you for the phone call. Renee, a lot to chew on there, and you had a lot of good points there. I will agree with you on Craig Stammen. Look, I think Craig's done a really nice job so far. As far as the post-game press conferences, look, I think Craig is very, very good at that part of it. I think he's very good at communicating with the media. I think he's very much himself. I think he's very comfortable in his own skin. And I think that really shows in those post-game press conferences. I'll also say this, and I've liked this about Craig so far. There has just been a willingness to, when things aren't going particularly well, to mix things up. Today is another good example. I mean, he had Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting fifth today. Fernando had not hit that low in the order since his rookie season in 2019. All the different things they did with the lineup today, and it worked. It doesn't mean that they could run out the same lineup tomorrow and they could get shut out. That's baseball. But I will say this, and it's been very consistent with Craig since opening day. There's just a willingness to mix it up. And this is not a knock on Mike Schultz, what I'm about to say, but that was very different with Mike. I mean, Mike, as all of you Padres fans out there know, Mike was very much not going to change course when it came to a lineup, when it came to the big guys and where they hit. I mean, look, and Mike won 93 90 games and got this team to the postseason, so he did his job. But it was a very different way of thinking than I think where Craig Stammen is, where he will mix it up. He will change things up if it's not working, and it's a different approach. And look, at this point, he's got a team that's 7 games above 500, and for the most part, it's been a very nice start to the season, despite some of the offensive struggles. And I kind of like the way he's been willing to change it up. Let's go to Eric in Chula Vista. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Sam. How's it going? Hey, speaking of Mike Schilt, the only Padre manager to lead them to back-to-back 90-win seasons and back-to-back postseason appearances.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm glad you touched on Andujar, and I think between him and Ty France, they're kind of doing the same thing. They got similar numbers, and they're providing the same kind of production for the offense. On the offensive side, Xander Bogaerts, it seems like every time I watch the Padres, I'm just kind of waiting for him to slow down a little bit, but he doesn't seem like he's going to. He had another great night tonight. On the pitching side, then we got Matt Waldron going tomorrow. He's got 3 starts. He's improved every single start. You know, LA to Colorado to Chicago. Hopefully he improves from his last start. And then a question, when are we expecting to see Musgrove back? I'm not sure if we have an answer, but just kind of like a rough, guesstimate.
Yeah, Eric. Well, let me get to the two pitching parts of it. Look, every start right now is a big start for Matt Waldron in the sense of Lucas Giolito is coming, and I'll tell you, we're going to actually hear from Lucas Giolito on our pregame coverage tomorrow. It's a little teaser there for you if you want to tune in, beginning at 11:45 a.m. tomorrow. Every start's big for Matt because Giolito's coming, and somebody's in all likelihood, unless they go with a 6 man, which I don't anticipate, is heading out of this rotation when Giolito comes back, or not comes back, but he arrives. And that's going to be within the next couple of weeks in all likelihood. So every start right now is big for Matt. As far as Joe, Eric, there hasn't been much of an update. Those guys are both him and Pivetta. You know what? I'll give you the official report from the Padres as of yesterday on those 2 guys. I'll literally give you the official word from the Padres on Joe. Continuing active rest and rehab for the next several weeks, currently traveling with the team. That was the Padres' official word on Joe. He is still, exactly what they said. Continuing active rest and rehab. But here's what I can tell you is, look, obviously he has not, to my knowledge, pitched off a mound. You know what? I shouldn't even go that far because I don't know that for sure. But put it this way. There has not been a lot of news. And at this point, I would assume you're kind of looking at a full buildup again for him. So, even if that started today, you're still looking at a while until he's going to be ready to pitch in a major league game. So I think it is safe to say still for both him and Pivetta, it's going to be a while. And we'll see what the news is in the weeks to come on Joe. But there has not been a lot of news on when he's expected back. So hopefully as soon as possible, and would love to get Joe back, obviously. All right, let's squeeze in one more phone call here quickly. Charles in Ramona. Charles, go ahead.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
Always love listening to your show. And today, for me, and I know for the players, feels just like a huge weight off of my shoulders. It's been a rough week. And like you were saying, Stammen mixing up the lineup has been huge. His flexibility. Mm-hmm. But I think, I don't know, maybe Song coming up kind of brought a little energy to the team.
Yeah.
And that felt really good. And again, I was a little nervous, but with Buehler, a lot of those runs he gave up those 2 runs he gave up in the second, those were some bad luck balls. A lot of balls that were going off the end of the bat. Mm-hmm. So I just think this is just we're in a great spot right now, and we've really hit gold when we got Andujar. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot to look forward to, and let's go Padres. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, Charles, good phone call. I'm with you. Good day, 10 runs on 14 hits. Song was great. Offense got it going, and Duhar's been great. Bueller was solid, settled in after a rocky start. So a lot to smile about here tonight, and you'd feel even better if you can pick up a series win tomorrow in the rubber game of this series. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday. Phillies beat the A's 9-1 in Philadelphia. Bryce Harper hit 2 home runs in that game for the Phillies. Orioles beat the Marlins 9-7 in Baltimore, or I should say, in Miami tonight. Orioles scoring 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning to break a 7-7 tie and win that game again 9-7. Red Sox beat the Tigers 10-3 in Detroit. They beat up on Framber Valdez, who allowed 10 runs on 9 hits in 3 innings in that game. Rays beat the Blue Jays 4-3 in Tampa Bay. The Twins beat the Nationals 11-3 in D.C. Yankees beat the Rangers 7-4 in Arlington. Jazz Chisholm, a home run in that game. Ryan McMahon, also a home run. And Paul Goldschmidt also hit a home run in that one for the Yanks. Cubs beat the Reds 3-2 in 10 innings. Second consecutive walk-off win for the Cubbies. It was a Michael Busch walk-off single in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Royals beat the Guardians 5-3 in Kansas City. The Astros beat Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers tonight 2-1. Ohtani on the mound picked up the loss in that game. Gave up a couple of solo home runs, one to Christian Walker and one to... What is Shoemake's first name? Braden Shoemake. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Mr. Shoemake. I had to make sure your first name. Braden Shoemake, a solo home run in that game as well. Only 2 runs the Astros scored, but they made it stand up. The Astros won it 2-1. Angels beat the White Sox 4-3 in Anaheim. Mike Trout, a home run in that game for the Angels. Braves beat the Mariners in Seattle 3-2. Diamondbacks blanked the Pirates 9-0 in Arizona. We did have 2 postponements today. Brewers and the Cardinals postponed in St. Louis due to weather. They'll make that up in July. And the Mets and Rockies postponed due to snow. Yeah, it was snowing in Colorado today. They'll make that up on Thursday in Denver. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday evening. Final score in San Francisco tonight, the Padres 10 and the Giants 5. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
The 1-0. That's in the air to left center field. Long run. Gilbert into the gap on the move. Not going to get there. One hops up against the wall. Castellanos will score to tie it. Campusano's on his way. The relay is not in time. A 2-run double for Song to give him the lead. Throw gets away. He goes to third. And the first big league hit for Sung Moon Song is a big one. Padres ahead. It's 5-4.
Oh, it was a beautiful song on this Tuesday night in San Francisco. What a moment for Sung Moon Song, a go-ahead 2-run double in the 4th inning gave the Padres a 5-4 lead, a lead they would never relinquish here tonight as they win it 10-5. Great stuff by Sung Moon Song. What a night in his first ever start in the major leagues, first ever at-bats in the major league. So congratulations to Sung Moon Song, and certainly a big swing in tonight's 10-5 win. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the final and rubber game of this 3-game series in San Francisco. First pitch tomorrow at 12:45 p.m. Our pregame coverage from inside our San Diego studios will begin at 11:45. Right-hander Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres. Right-hander Adrian Hauser on the mound for the Giants. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. Taking a look at the final totals here tonight for the Padres. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors. They left on 6. For the Giants, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. They left on 3. Winning pitcher tonight, Walker Buehler, who improves to 2-2. Losing pitcher, Logan Webb, who drops to 2-4. Time of game, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the crowd at Oracle Park in San Francisco tonight, 38,275. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 12:45 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 11:45. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from inside our San Diego studios. Again, the final score tonight, the San Diego Padres 10 and the San Francisco Giants 5. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for joining